welcome back to Feather Talk Wrestling. It is now time for your WWE Friday Night SmackDown review from a very interesting WWE Friday Night SmackDown last night. So, yeah, it was really interesting, but look, we obviously have to review it, don't we? Anyway, let's get right into the review of this week's WWE Friday Night SmackDown. So it all started off with the SmackDown Women's Championship match, Bayley versus Sasha Banks for Sasha Banks' SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks and Bayley, I mean, look, they had one hell of a fight, to be completely honest with you. It was just absolutely amazing. Sasha Banks came out victorious, and Sasha Banks is still our SmackDown Women's Champion after an absolutely brilliant fight. And Sasha Banks has gone on and beaten Bayley for a second time, and it looks like this feud is now over, because at the end of the match, Carmella came out and attacked Sasha Banks. Yeah, Carmella has returned. We've actually seen her now probably in the Thunderdome, and yeah, she literally beat up Sasha Banks. And it looks like at Tables, Ladders and Chairs, no, not at Survivor Series, at Tables, Ladders and Chairs, we're going to see Sasha Banks versus Carmella, because at Survivor Series it's Sasha Banks versus Asuka. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen. Sasha Banks versus Carmella, hopefully it does happen. I really do hope it does. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for that feud, which will be very, very interesting. And then backstage, we literally saw the Street Profits and Big E backstage, and then the Street Profits were just trying to get information about the New Day and stuff, and then they all suddenly started laughing, and then and then Billie Kay comes in laughing, and then God knows what she was going on about, but she was going on about something which I forgot, because it really just wasn't that important at all. But yeah, after that, we saw Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio backstage, and then, they were just talking. Rey Mysterio was trying to get hold of Aaliyah, which he couldn't, and then Baron Corbin suddenly Baron Corbin or King Corbin suddenly came out of nowhere, whatever you want to call him, came out of nowhere and attacked Rey Mysterio, and then Dominic came to check on Rey Mysterio, and then it was time for the match. Rey Mysterio versus King Corbin. To see the qualifying, to see who can qualify and be in the SmackDown Survivor Series team. King Corbin went on and beat Rey Mysterio after a decent fight. There was a bit of a distraction with Murphy and Aaliyah and stuff at the end, and King Corbin is officially in the Survivor Series team for WWE SmackDown. So very, very, very interesting there. And then backstage we saw Jey Uso having an interview, and then Paul Heyman came along saying, like, you did the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, your cousin, say that you're allowed to have this interview? And then Jey was like, well, really, do I have to ask him to have an interview? And then they went back and like, Roman's like, what are you doing? And then yeah, after that's all done, it was Ruby Riott versus Selena Vega versus Natalya in a triple threat match to find out who qualifies for the Women's Survivor Series team. Ruby Riott actually won this match after quite a decent match, to be honest with you. Look, I've got to say it was half decent, because like Natalya had like this submission in on Selena Vega, and then suddenly Ruby Riott came out of nowhere, and then the submission on her, and Natalya let it go, and now Ruby Riott is in the Survivor Series team, which is very, very interesting. And Survivor Series is only like 2 weeks away. It's very, very close to happening, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, Ruby Riott is now officially in the SmackDown women's team. And then after that, we saw Seth Rollins versus Otis to find who else is going into the men's Survivor Series team. Seth Rollins versus Otis. I've got to say, it was quite a good match, but obviously another distraction at the end with Murphy distracting Otis. Seth Rollins wins and is now officially in the SmackDown Survivor Series team after beating Otis. So yeah, I've got to say it was good. And then Murphy went out distracted and to distract Otis, and so wins. And then backstage, we went to an advert break, and then after that backstage we saw Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins went to chase Murphy like, really, wait, are you back? And then obviously Murphy did this Messiah disciple. I don't know why I'm pointing at myself there when I call myself disciple. I really don't know, but yeah, so Seth said, Murphy said disciple, and then Messiah disciple, whatever. And then Seth's like, well, we're back together now, I think, as a team. So yeah, and then Aaliyah went running. She's like, well, right, why are you back in the team with Seth? What are you doing? And then Buddy Murphy just said, right, I've got this under control. I don't actually have a clue what's happening here, but yeah. It's interesting. This is going to be really interesting to find out what happens, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, that was all a bit weird. And then after all of that, we had an interview with Sullivan backstage. It's interesting. He's like, well, I did say I got bullied, and then I turned out to be the bully. It's just blah blah blah, whatever. Lars Sullivan said he's still going on about with these interviews. This time it was last week. It was with Corey Graves. This week it was with Michael Cole. And yeah, when is this guy actually just going to return to the ring instead of just sat backstage doing interviews with Corey Graves and Michael Cole? I really don't know. Corey Graves and Michael Cole have literally just been interviewing the past few weeks, and I really don't know when Lars Sullivan is going to return back to the ring action. I really don't know, but yeah, it's all a bit weird with what's going on with him and his interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, after that, we went to another break, obviously, and then it was our main event of the evening: Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. Look, they are both in the SmackDown Survivor Series team. But, they had a bit of beef earlier on in the night, which I forgot to mention. But, yeah, and then, yeah, Jey Uso and Kevin Owens actually put on quite a good fight, to be completely honest with you. I really did enjoy it. But then it turned out that, Kevin Owens got distracted because Roman Reigns' music suddenly started playing, and then Jey Uso went for a low blow on Kevin Owens, and then he literally super kicked him, then jumped on him, and then Jey Uso has officially beaten Kevin Owens in the main event, and then he walked, and then Jey Uso walks out with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. It looks like Jey Uso is not going to be removed by from the family, because he's literally doing everything that Roman is saying, and I'm really excited for next week to see what's going to happen between these two. It's all going to be really, really interesting. There were rumours that Daniel Bryan might have gone back and done something, but he didn't. We still saw something really interesting between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, though. So yeah, Jey Uso and Roman Reigns both are just absolutely amazing at the moment. Bloody hell, it's just absolutely amazing between both of those two at this moment in time. But now it's time to rank this week's WWE Friday Night SmackDown. 1 to 4 is bad, 5 to 6 is average, and 7 to 10 is good. What am I gonna rank this? I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. The usual score, really. I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. It was quite a good show. It was quite a good show. I thought we could have seen a bit better. I'm not complaining. It was a brilliant show no matter what. And it's getting me pumped up for Survivor Series, and then Tables, Ladders and Chairs, which we're actually on the build up to as well, kind of. As well. So yeah. It was all very, very interesting, this SmackDown, and we found out a lot of what's happening. Carmella is looking to challenge Sasha Banks, probably, and this And this whole Jey Uso and Roman Reigns thing is really interesting as well. And the same thing with Seth Rollins and Murphy thing as well. But yeah, look, I have got to say, I am really intrigued to find out Jey Uso and Roman Reigns quite a lot, to be honest. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But SmackDown has got me really excited for next week. And yes, it's just going to be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching this video. Forever Talk Wrestling. I'll speak to you soon. Anyway, thanks for watching.